I never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say?
Woo. This is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
I feel funny. Is this real life?
Yes, this is real life.
I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me.
Don't touch your stitches, Justin. Bieber, don't touch your stitches.
What's happening?
No.
Bieber, stop.
You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers. I have 3 fingers. Is this gonna last forever?
Justin, stop it.
Yeah, you pressing Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird. They did not run through Bieber.
There was... Why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
Alright, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
Love you.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
For years, the industry treated warning signs like background noise. Awkward moments were laughed off. Uncomfortable footage became punchlines. Serious questions were quietly ignored. But now, with 50 Cent's documentary bringing the past back into focus, every detail is being re-examined, and long-dismissed whispers are finally being heard. At the center of it all stands Diddy, a powerful figure who shaped countless careers. And Justin Bieber, a young star who entered that world before he was fully prepared for it. This isn't about viral clips or internet gossip. It's about power, silence, and how truth can remain buried for years when too many people choose not to look too closely.
Other way.
We hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Justin Bieber's rise was presented as a modern fairy tale. But behind the bright lights and global fame was a far more complicated reality, a young artist navigating powerful adult systems without meaningful protection. Old footage and overlooked interviews now paint a clearer picture of how he was placed in environments where status, access, and influence often mattered more than healthy boundaries. Moments that should have raised concern were packaged as entertainment and normalized as celebrity culture. This isn't about a single incident. It's about normalization, an industry conditioned to look away. It raises a difficult question: when youth is exchanged for opportunity, who ultimately bears the cost?
Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it. Ain't that in our culture? No snitching. And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you gonna give him a pass? Bro,
For years, 50 Cent kept his distance from Sean Diddy Combs' inner circle. He appeared aware of what surrounded him but unwilling to participate. At the time, his comments were dismissed as rivalry or lingering resentment. Now, as legal scrutiny increases and public opinion shifts, those same remarks are resurfacing with new weight. What once sounded like provocation now feels closer to a warning. This doesn't confirm every allegation, but it reveals something more unsettling. Warnings often exist long before formal acknowledgement. And criticism is easiest to ignore when it comes from a voice people would rather not hear. The question remains, how many early signals are dismissed simply because the messenger makes others uncomfortable?
He dropped the song, it went over our heads. It's actually about Diddy this whole time. Which video? The song Lonely. Let me see.
Everybody knows my past. I've always hated black. Maybe that's the price you pay for the money and fame at an early age.
He even came out and said stuff about how when he was younger, he was being taken advantage of, which is true. The problem was being a victim of the diddler. What happens? Because he has so much dirt on you, if you go out into the public, he may have videos, he may have embarrassing things, he might even have incriminating footage of you doing things that you were forced to under the influence to do.
Diddy's influence extended far beyond music. He helped shape who gained access to powerful spaces, and who did not. Justin Bieber's proximity to that world was not random. It reflected a broader industry pattern where opportunity was often controlled by gatekeepers and informal networks rather than transparent systems. In such an environment, success is rarely just about talent. It's about access.
Guys, the leaked video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
It's your icon alert.
Look at that.
It's called, he's bad.
Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
The deeper issue isn't only what may have happened behind closed doors. It's why accountability struggles in systems where success depends on closeness to power. When access determines opportunity, boundaries can blur. Caution is mistaken for weakness. Self-protection is treated as an obstacle rather than a necessity. In that environment, the real question becomes, who truly has the freedom to say no? And what happens to those who try?
I'm tired of Usher. I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him, because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Long before Justin Bieber's rise, Usher spoke about entering Diddy's circle as a teenager and later reflected on being exposed to adult pressures too early. That history matters, not as speculation, but as precedent. When similar patterns appear across generations, coincidence becomes harder to claim. A deeper structural issue comes into focus: power and influence passed down without meaningful reform. If warning signs were recognized once, why did the system remain unchanged when the next young artist followed a similar path?
And that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
No.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be?
As scrutiny surrounding Diddy intensified, many former allies chose silence. Meanwhile, 50 Cent spoke openly, exposing what some describe as an unspoken industry code. Speaking out risks relationships, staying quiet protects them. Over time, loyalty and self-preservation become indistinguishable. Silence becomes strategy. In a world where honesty can threaten career stability, accountability faces a difficult barrier. When silence feels safest, can meaningful change truly occur?
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And what did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen, having a good time, yo.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was going to happen to to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak office. He a good guy. Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat with Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours. Yours are just good enough to die in Lake Lanier with no real investigation. Got it? Like, these aren't good people!
All right, Jeff.
He's not good! He's a... And the simple fact that Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down.
Run for the hills.
Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
Justin Bieber has never publicly accused Diddy of criminal wrongdoing. However, his later reflections on anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and instability add important context to a larger conversation. He has described being thrust into extreme pressure at a young age, surrounded by adults with competing interests and navigating global fame without the tools to protect his mental and emotional well-being. These reflections don't offer simple answers, but they challenge simplistic narratives and highlight the cost of growing up too quickly in a high-pressure environment.
Quick. Yeah, she's crazy. She's a superstar.
Superstar, right? So you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I've never had a chance to ask you that, because I know what was going through her mind because I've had a chance to ask her that, and it's pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction, and also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself?
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, just I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know. You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know, and yeah.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and yeah. So yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me,
Clip 9. This conversation isn't about delivering legal judgment. It's about recognizing human impact. Harm doesn't always arrive with headlines or dramatic accusations. Sometimes it surfaces years later as emotional strain, instability, or pain that was never fully acknowledged. When pressure and exposure are embedded within a system, damage can occur quietly. If the issue is structural rather than isolated, why do we wait for a major accusation before admitting something was wrong?
And Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters. He ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute, no whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, but that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, like, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only. We got to learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him him? Now, his pedigree comes from rat background. His father was a rat, snitch. Not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And yet, Diddy was able to, siphon off enough of that juice, just enough to get people, but he needed Gene. Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard. He was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly, he could.
When Diddy's case entered federal court, the conversation shifted from speculation to documented legal scrutiny, shaped by evidence, rulings, and procedure. The courtroom determines legal responsibility, not cultural accountability. Courts evaluate actions within legal boundaries, but they cannot fully address systemic dynamics. What is legal is not always ethical. And a case closing on paper does not automatically resolve deeper structural concerns. So when formal proceedings conclude, does accountability end there, or does the real conversation begin?
If I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you got to realize he ran with that black that Rat Pack. And I don't want to even say their names, because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro.
The intersection of 50 Cent, Diddy, and Justin Bieber highlights a broader reality within celebrity-driven systems, where power accumulates at the top, vulnerability often sits at the bottom, and accountability can arrive last, if at all. Youth is marketed as authenticity. Access is framed as mentorship. Silence is rewarded as professionalism. Over time, imbalance begins to feel normal. This is not about targeting individuals or declaring certainty. It's about recurring conditions that continue to produce similar outcomes. And when the same structures generate the same consequences again and again, one final question becomes unavoidable. At what point does the system itself stop being background noise and become the real story?